Hey, welcome everyone, I hope you're doing great, I hope you are doing excellent. Welcome to another video of the Beginners playlist. Today I'm bringing to you a banger, people. Today I want to explain to you how you can increase the power of your fortress, but more than increase the power of your fortress, how can you do it in a way that you can prevent of losing, okay? So today I want to share with you my thoughts on the process creation of a fortress, also what I recommend you to use, but take this in mind, I will not recommend you to follow every single step that I do here, because I don't know if it have happened to you when you are playing the attack missions that suddenly you start to encounter the same fortresses, and I'm not talking about the fortresses that appear on the game when you lose three times in a row on the attack missions. I'm talking about that when people use exactly the same fortress, that fortress is start to get easy to defeat, because now since you are playing against that fortress a lot of times, you already know how to defeat. So here, more than telling you this is the base that you need to use, I want to share with you the process of creation of fortress, and yeah, some traps and some installations that I recommend you to use. So this is my current fortress, but I'm gonna create a new fortress from the beginning just for you guys, so you can follow with me. So we are gonna erase all these things that you are seeing here on the screen, but before that, one important thing: a lot of people don't know where they can get a lot of the installations and a lot of the traps that we use on our fortress. So to explain you where you can get those, well, you need to come here to the main menu and go to the store. A lot of people don't know where the store is. Don't worry, this is not gonna cost you any real money, only it's gonna cost you some points inside the game. So here in the store menu, on the left part of the screen where it says Fortress Metal Shop, we click on it and we will see that here we have a lot of the new and old traps and installations on game, okay? So what I recommend you to do is to purchase all these fortress, all these installations and all these traps. Don't worry, it's gonna cost you medals. You can get these medals by playing the attack mission, so it's not gonna be a really big deal to get these traps and installations, okay? So I recommend you to have all of them. And a lot of you have told me several times hey, where can I get the new traps? For example, now we are playing against the surprise attack mission, where we play against the Bijus. That is a monthly event, and each month they give us a new installation or a new trap. So for the newest installations and traps, we are not gonna find them here. You can get those on the reward system on the surprise attack mission, but don't worry, when the time passes, those traps and installations will be here, okay? So well, now that was the quick advice. Now let's go back to the fortress. Okay, here we are, and I have seen that a lot of people, when they are below the tuning level on the attack missions, they have really weird fortresses, where I always think that why do they not care about their fortresses? I mean, back in the day it was really hard to defeat fortresses. Now is not that hard. You can defeat even fortresses of people that are in Gokunin. So today is not about making an impenetrable fortress, because I don't think that exists. You can have a really hardcore fortress, it depends on your Shinobis, but here I want to give you a lot of the thoughts on the creation of a fortress, and also to improve your fortress, because as I told you, I've seen a lot of people that doesn't even care about their fortresses, and then they ask how they can get Gokunin level, and it's like, dude, you need to care about your fortress and also play a lot of attack missions. Okay, so well, first here we have a really blank fortress. First I want to give you an insight of the terrains. The initial terrains from the terrain level 1 to the terrain number 15, don't use any of those terrains. I have seen a lot of people using those terrains, and they think that because their Shinobis are strong enough, they can use one of these terrains. I don't recommend you to use this. I will recommend you to use a terrain that has 9 lots, okay, or 9 floors. Which terrain is the best? Well, that will depend on what Shinobis you have and the installation and traps you put on it, okay? So the terrains that I use the most is this one, the terrain number 18. I really like this terrain, and I'm gonna explain you on this terrain, the number 18, but I will also recommend you the level 19 is also a good one. The level 20, it used to be a good one, but I think that not anymore. And then the other one that I recommend you, the number 24, I don't recommend you to use, because you have a Shinobi here on the right side of the terrain here. You know what I do when I attack a fortress like this one? I don't even care going to the right side. I just defeat the Shinobi that is in the middle, and then I follow my path here on the left side. So yeah, this is a good one, maybe. The 25 I wouldn't recommend you, and the 26 I will recommend you. This is also a good one if you put a lot of effort on this. So, but well, I'm gonna explain to you on the terrain number 18. Is not the best, it's not the only one. It doesn't mean that just because I'm telling you here on this video that I'm gonna use the number 18, this is the only terrain that you should use. You should experiment, but this is one of my favorites, so I'm gonna explain on this terrain, okay? So they give us a lot of random installations and traps. I would recommend you to store them all, and just the thing I did in the past, but for the people that are beginning on game, and even if you are a veteran here on the game, this will also serve you as well. So okay, so the process creation is that I first decide which Shinobis I'm gonna put on the floors, okay, defending, and after I do that, I decide what Shinobis are gonna be on the final floor. Also, you need to take into account of some Shinobis that you can put on the final room, mostly defense Shinobis or Shinobis that can increase your HP, your CP, and that makes you immune to status effects, not only your character but all the allies, okay? So taking that in mind, you also can come to a conclusion which Shinobis you can use here on the floors. So the Shinobis I'm gonna put here are not the best Shinobis, nor the only ones. I want you to tell you that. But it's an example of what can you do, of which combination of traps and installations you can do. So first of all, I go to summon, and since I already used to this fortress, well, I can tell you that I'm gonna put a Shinobi here on this floor. I'm gonna explain you why is that. I'm gonna put the reanimation trap there, and what else? I'm gonna put another Shinobi here, and I'm gonna put another Shinobi on this part and another one here. Okay, so this is the first thing that I do before anything else, and before my Shinobis, before I decide which Shinobis I'm gonna put there, I want you to think on the first floor. The first floor is the most important one. I can tell you here for sure that what you want to do is to separate the team of the person that is gonna attack your fortress. So yeah, maybe this is one of those things that I don't like to do this, like this is the only thing that you need to do, but it's a really good one, okay? So what I recommend you to do is first to select one of these installations that makes all the installations immune to jutsu's effects, that are the Seal Gargoyle. Okay, I recommend you to use these ones. Actually, I'm gonna use the Seal Gargoyle level 2 because it has more HP, whatever. So then we go to again to installations, and this can be really different. This is just my advice, okay? So I will use the watermark style and the other water style. Why? Because these traps, what they do is that they send away to another floor to the Shinobis or to the Shinobis that are attacking you, okay? So this is what I will do. So even though the Shinobis of your opponent come here and apply a jutsu, this trap is not gonna be destroyed because of the gargle. The gargle allows the traps to only be destroyed if you punch them with a normal punch, okay? So actually, even when you attack this with a normal punch, it will fly away the Shinobis or your opponent, okay? So this is a good combination. A decent one. It's not the best one, not the only one, but it's the one that it has served me and that I use the most. Okay, so what's next? Why am I doing this combination of fortress? Why? Because if a person send fly away to this floor and they defeat the Shinobi that is here, they will then be fighting the Shinobi that is in the reanimation trap, and these people could decide, well, I defeat a Shinobi, it's gonna serve me to enter the final floor. That people can think about that. But if you enter the final room with a fortress level 3, when you enter the final room, you will have your HP affected by a large amount. So that's gonna be easier for my Shinobis on the final room to destroy the Shinobis. So that's why I'm putting 2 Shinobis here, even though I don't recommend you a lot of the times to have 2 Shinobis on the same floor, unless you really think about that and unless you create a fortress where having this combination is useful, as I'm gonna show you, do it. But otherwise it will be better if you separate your Shinobis. But anyways, okay, so the first thing that you need to think is which Shinobi is gonna be here and on your reanimation trap, okay? So I've been thinking a lot which Shinobis I should use, and I'm gonna make a change here. I'm gonna put my Madara there, and maybe you are telling me, well, using the Madara there is not a good option, but with the new installation that the game gives us as a reward of the surprise attack mission, which is this one, the fog machine that creates fog and inflicts confusion and darkness randomly on the enemies, it's a really good one. Because the Shinobis, my opponent is gonna enter just on this side or on this side. I'm not gonna be creating an opportunity to be on this floor, just in the other two, or on the other 2 sides. So Madara here is a really good option because Madara has a jutsu that creates a barrier and doesn't allow the Shinobis to walk away. So if the Shinobis want to walk away this path to destroy my fog machine, they will not be able to do so. So on my Madara here, I have 2 more free lots. So what I want to do is to put some trap here and another one here. Just a decent one, but Madara can handle that, okay? So next one, what other Shinobis I will use here? Well, I will use here my Naruto 6 paths mode, because Naruto has a really wide range of attack, so he's a really a good Shinobi. And on this side I will be putting my Shisui, because he has 2 jutsus that inflict shield. And here I'm gonna put Hashirama because he is one of my strongest Shinobi on game, and he also have a jutsu that seals. So that's a combination I will use. And here I will use Edo Minato. Why? Because when he has his life reduced, he can deal a lot of damage with his ultimate. Okay? So what else? Well, now I can think which Shinobis I'm gonna put on my final room. Obviously Narukage, and obviously Tsunade. And in my case, well, you could use Naruto Kurama Lean mode. This is one of the combinations that will cost you a lot of time to defeat, because all of these Shinobis have jutsus that makes all your team invincible. But I will use here another one. I will use here Edo Itachi. Obviously, this is not the recommendation that I will tell you or that I will tell every people to use, but this is the one that I feel comfortable and the Shinobis that I like, so I'm gonna leave them there. Okay, so next one, it's time to put the traps on the floor where are the Shinobis. Okay, and since we are using the resuscitation trap here, we are gonna have a lot of traps to use. So the first Shinobi that I'm thinking is Naruto Light. So I'm gonna put one of these camouflage crystals in random parts of the floor to allow my Naruto be able to defeat more Shinobis. If they were fly away from this point to this point, where this is an option. Okay, so I'm gonna put two sealed scrolls. Well, one there, one here. I'm gonna put a trap here. Put a trap here. I'm gonna put a sealed scroll there and a trap here, because I want my Shinobis there to be able to destroy a lot of Shinobis. So maybe you are wondering, hey, are you gonna use the Genjutsu trap? Yes, I'm gonna use it. You can put here another Shinobi. It's not necessary that you put Minato here, okay? It depends on your Shinobi, that's what I'm telling you. But also, this is an exercise to tell you guys how you can think when you are creating your fortress. Okay, so that's the capacity. Okay, so now we have only one thing to use here. We have only one lot to use here, so we can certainly decide to use a scroll, a seal scroll. But let's think about that well better. Now we have here Madara full. We have a lot of lots to put on Naruto Light, and since he's alone, we should really think about that. Now here on my Madara and my Shizu, we can put a lot of traps here because they are alone. Okay, so that's something to take into account. We also want one of these. Actually, we can put here this. We also want to put on them one of these invincible materials. Okay, so if it's the case, if they are sent fly away. 18. Now, since Naruto is alone there, let's put on him some seal scrolls and also some traps that only cost one lot to put on him. Okay, what else? Actually, we can put one of these traps there and move these randomly there. Okay, we still have lots. This is the creation process. Okay, so 18. Okay, we have more. We can use another one of these traps. This is gonna be useful. And now let's put one there, sealing scroll here, and the trap there. Okay, now 20. Okay, so they are covered, and here on this alone floor, I'm gonna put a lot of these tornado traps, because what you want is to send the enemy fly away to a floor where they can be harmed. Okay, actually it's better to use here. So for example, if they enter the first room and they send fly away to this room, well, if it's not the main character, the support characters will be sent fly to this room where they are gonna be in trouble, or again to the first room. Okay, so it's gonna repeat the process. So we have two more lots, and we should put one of these effects there, because these effects allows you to, if the character walk on these effects, they will be inflicted with the status effects, or we are anything with another effect that they are not counting on. So then with my Minato, we only have one lot available, and since we already spent our ceiling scrolls and our beer traps, I would recommend you one invincibility scroll, camouflage crystal, okay, so they cannot see him. So this is the formation I will do. If the Shinobis want to destroy the Genjutsu trap, they need to walk all this path, and if they send fly away here, my Minato is gonna react, okay? So then we also have more lots for Naruto light mode, okay? So what I would recommend you to do here is more invincible camouflage crystals, because Naruto is one of a kind Shinobi, and tornado traps, just to be sure that the Shinobis doesn't have a lot of advantage on him. And why not putting another effect there, okay? Now, maybe you are thinking, hey, but what's gonna happen with these two floors? Well, this one, I'm not gonna use it. And maybe you are wondering, if you are not gonna use it, why are you using a fortress that has 9 floors? Well, because it confuses people, and it makes them it confuses people, because when the people enter your fortress, they don't know if they are gonna encounter a trap here that's gonna send them fly away. But it's not good option to send the Shinobis flying away here. Why? Because if they send fly away here, they can enter this room, destroy easily this trap, and destroy my Madara. But if they can only enter from this side or this other side, Madara is gonna block this path, okay? So my trap is gonna have the effect I want to, the effect that I want to have. Now, what traps should I put on these other two floors? Well, traps that decrease or the HP or life, okay? So I'm gonna use the traps that decrease the HP, because if you decrease the life of the enemies, it can happen that when the support characters of the person that is attacking you, if they enter a room with their HP lower than 50% or 70%, their Shinobis will apply an X-Ultimate, and that will be bad for your Shinobi here. So that's why I don't use the life traps, unless you want to destroy with that trap the Shinobis. I don't recommend you to use. It can be a trap for you, because if the Shinobi enter here with lower HP, they will use their X-Ultimate or Ultimate. So instead of that, I will use the chakra traps, and I will put also the traps that doesn't allow the enemies to walk away, such as the blazing stones, the perfume fog that increase paralysis and lower movement. But I'm gonna use it here, slow movement, and here I'm gonna put another effect if they decide to enter where my Madara is, okay? And here I will do the same. So I will use the effect trap there, and actually here we can use traps to confuse people, to make them think that they are more traps than what they just encounter. Okay, so now we have 20 capacity of 20 there, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and the final room. Okay, so here I will put the trap of the Deidara, not because I think that that's a good installation, but if the people decide to come here, and if they enter a room where is this trap, a fortress will be placed here, so it will spend some of their times, okay? So I'm not gonna intend here to make them some damage or anything. It's just one This is just for people that decide to come here and to spend some of their time trying to defeat one of these fortress. So yeah, this will be the fortress I will use, and the last part is to change your appearance. I don't know why a lot of people like to put the snow appearance. It's such a bad one. I really hate it. I will use a appearance that try to camouflage my traps. So for example, the Genjutsu trap is here. But if I've used this appearance, when the people enter my fortress, it's gonna be really obvious that the Genjutsu trap is there. So what I will use? Well, I will use the fortress where it cannot be really visible, such as this one. This one also helps to make a lot of traps invisible. Also this one, but I really like this one, or this one. It could also serve you. Okay, it could also serve you to have a the traps camouflage. This one also can help you if you can use the trees. For example, if I decide to put the Genjutsu trap, for example, here on the tree, you cannot see that there is a Genjutsu trap, right? So it's gonna be camouflage there, and then you put this other trap here, so the people is not gonna be able to see that there is a Genjutsu trap. So yeah, this will be. I will leave the appearance on my fortress like this one, because I use another one. Then the tree is disappearing, and my Genjutsu trap is obviously that is there. Yeah, this will be the process thought that I do on creating my fortress. I hope you find this useful, guys. Remember it's not that you need to do exactly what I'm doing here. Also, I think that a lot of you already know how to create some fortress, but if you want some insights on the creation process, here you have on this video. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe, to give your like to the video. I'm Ikagen Sennin. I also will recommend you to subscribe to my second channel, which is named Ikagen English, with everything is in English, so you can watch there a lot of console video games, such as a lot of games. Okay, so well, thank you guys, hope you enjoy it, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and give your like. Bye bye.